There's so many voices fighting for our attention. There are so many things that are shaping the way we think, the way we feel about the world, feel about ourselves. And it's like, if we are wanting to follow Jesus, if we are wanting to build our lives on the rock, not on the sinking sand, then we want to build our lives on according to God's word, what He has said. And so to take that in through any medium is a great benefit to our soul, especially when we are engaging with it, to truly know God and to respond to Him with worship, with praise, with prayer, and with obedience. What's going on, y'all? This is Brian Winchester. I was one of the vocal talents for the first Streetlights sampler, I think, doing Psalm 103, when it was just a handful of random Bible passages set to music. So I still remember the first CD sampler. I started thinking, like, what would it look like for a family to do it as part of their devotion? To say, hey, we're going to listen to this book of the Bible together. We're just going to hear God's word together, or get together with a group of friends. There is something about just hearing God's word and letting God say what God has said. And it's like the impact that that's going to have. I mean, partly like to prayerfully listen, right? To prayerfully listen to what God has said in His word, that it might change the way we think, change where our affections are directed, change what we believe, that to really see that the goal is, in hearing God's word, is to encounter God Himself. The Old Testament really puts the New Testament in context. When I first got saved, somebody said, you know, don't worry about reading the Old Testament, it's not for us, just read the New Testament. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read the New Testament start to finish. I started in Matthew, read Mark, I got to Luke, and I'm like, wait up, this is like the same story again. Best way to put it is maybe a lack of appreciation for what the Gospels are revealing about Jesus and what He's accomplished for us, when we don't understand the context of what He's fulfilling. And so understanding Him as our prophet, priest, and king, knowing the history of the people of Israel and God's dealings with His people throughout time and how that reaches its climax, it's like you kind of need to look in both directions. How do I read the Old Testament now but look forward to Christ? And then how do I read the New Testament looking backwards to see, oh, this is what that imagery is representing. These are the things that He's fulfilling. How am I gonna get a clear understanding of who God is? Well, I can hear what other people tell me about Him, but if He would be so kind to reveal Himself to me through His word, that I might know Him in truth, have an accurate understanding that's filled with nuance and depth and layers, I just don't see how I can get that if I detach my Christian life from God's revelation given in the Word, from the old to the new. Listen to Streetlights today.